Meshram, Dharma brothers and sisters, dear on participants in our Nguyen Dharma English Club. Very good afternoon. My name is Yakman Chow. It is really honorable, privileged, and happy for me to be the moderator for the interactive talk and discussion today. So before starting our virtual meeting and dialogue, I would like to invite all of us to put your palms together to recite the Buddha's name for 3 times in Pali language. May I request the Venerable Dr.Ambedkar to raise the voice first. Venerable, please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
Well, thank you very much, Bante. Next, I would like to announce the tentative program today as follows. 1. Introducing guests and participants. 2. Opening speech and introducing the chief guest by Dharma Sister Vang Dien. 3. Main speech by our chief guest, Dr. Manish Meshram. And 4. The Q&A session. 5. Vote of thanks by Dharma Sister Nhung Tang. And 6. Closing program by the traditional song of the club, I Have Arrived, I'm Home. In this meaningful and interactive meeting today, it's really my pleasure and honor for us to welcome 1. Dr. Manish Meshram, Assistant Professor, Scholar of Buddhist Studies and Civilization, Gautam Buddha University. 2. Venerable Dr.Ambedkar, Founder and President of Nguyen Thieu Dharma English Club, Vietnam. 3. On Dharma brothers and sisters, are members of the club on Indians. Once again, warmly welcome you all to this great virtual meeting today. To understand our Nguyen Thieu Dharma English Club as well as brief biography of our guest speaker today, now I would like to invite Dharma Sister Vang Dien for opening remarks in introducing our chief guest. Sister, please, over the mic to you. Sister?
Yes. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, respected Mahasangha, respected Dr. Manish Meshram, dear members of the Nguyen Thieu Dharma English Club, Dharma brothers and sisters, very good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome Dr. Manish Meshram, Assistant Professor, School of Buddhist Studies and Civilization, Gautam Buddha University, to our Nguyen Thieu Dharma English Club, London School of Buddhist Studies, Vietnam. Thank you so much, Venerable, for your kind acceptance of our invitation as the guest speaker today. Let me take a few minutes to give you a brief introduction of the School of Buddhist Studies and Nguyen Thieu Dharma English Club. As we know, the School of Buddhist Studies is one of the top schools in the field of Buddhist studies in Vietnam, with a large number of listeners to Vietnam Buddhist universities in Ho Chi Minh State. And our students are usually our top students at the entrance exam for graduate programs in the university. For the betterment of usage of English, Nguyen Thieu Dharma English Club was founded by then Dr. Dr.Ambedkar in School of Buddhist Studies at London province in 2020 with participation of more than 200 listeners. We are actively learning Dharma English under the form of Buddhist English Club. We use it as a medium language to understand the Buddha teachings, along with improvement of four necessary skills of reading, speaking, listening, and writing for our members. It will be a strong foundation and valuable preparation for them to study abroad in future. It's basic step for members of the club to have good chance to learn Dharma through English and to understand English under the form of Dharma. We will have good approaches to prominent speakers, scholars, teachers, and professors in the field of Buddhist studies from different countries in different Buddhist traditions: Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India for Theravada tradition, Vietnam, China, Japan, and Korea for Mahayana Buddhism, and Mongolia, Bhutan, Tibet for Vajrayana Buddhist tradition. Today in our 28th dialogue with Dr. Manish Meshram in 2022 in the Syrup Weekly International Meeting of the Nguyên Thieu Dharma English Club, London School of Buddhist Studies, Vietnam. It's a great pleasure Dr. Manish Meshram had accepted our invitation as guest speakers to have a talk with our 200 members of the club on the contents of Bodhisattva Dr. Ambedkar's Four Noble Truths in Socially Engaged Buddhism. Once again, thank you for joining us and welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dharma Sister Vang Dinh. Now may I request Dr. Manish Meshram, Assistant Professor, Scholar of Buddhist Studies and Civilization, Gautam Buddha University, to give your main speech on Bodhisattva, Dr. Ambedkar's Four Noble Truths in Socially Engaged Buddhism. Today, over the mic to you, sir.
So let us start that.
Yeah, you can start the presentation now, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. First, I would like to thanks to Venerable Thich Dong Dak, who is the founder of Nguyen Thai Dhamma English Club. So I am very much happy to hear and giving me opportunity to share my views or my experiences about Buddhism in India. So are you listening me? Are you heard me? Dong Dak?
Yes, sir. You are audible now, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So I am really happy, and I start my topic which I select to interact with all of you. So before that, I just recite the very important message of the Buddha, who first time he taught to his disciple when he established the Sangha, Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hontu. So this Sangha was established to help her welfare and help to society. So Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hontu, Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hontu, Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hontu. So respected all Vietnamese bhikkhu, Sangha and students, those who organized the very good event to interact to opportunity of Indian Buddhism, a study in various Buddhist study in Pali in Indian context. So today I would like to express my very important view on the topic, the Bodhisattva Dr. Ambedkar's Four Noble Truths in the Social Engaged Buddhism. We are very much familiar nowadays the word of the engaged Buddhism, those who are all you from the Vietnam and Vietnamese Buddhist Sangha. So Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, who is the father of engaged Buddhism in a modern world. So I would like to express and share my views, what Dr. Ambedkar's vision or his thoughts on particular social engaged Buddhism in modern India. So I have some objectives, what we have to learn through this topic or this today's my topic, what I'm going to talk. So before that, I would like to express the introduction about the Dr. Ambedkar's existence in this world. And later, I first going to deep express or explain about the topic. I would like to share some very important point to start my discussion and topic what I'm going to discuss. In the introduction, at the advent of the 21st century, human civilization.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Now you can share your screen now, sir, so that our members can see and understand more clearly. Now, please
But
share
how?
your screen.
But how could I both can show my presentation and my my face? So when
Sir,
I present,
yes,
so
see the middle bottom, the bottom, sir. You see the share screen bottom. You click there, the share the screen. You choose your PPT file and you share it. Bottom, middle bottom, and you can click the share screen. The blue one, sir. Blue or green one, sir.
green
Yes.
one.
Yes, the green one, sir. And click there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. Yes. Now, sir. Yes. Okay. Now, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Because this is the first time I am using Zoom for presentation. I'm very much familiar with the Google Meet.
I see. I see.
I share the things online. So okay. So first we start in under the topic. Before that, I just want to introduce some very important relevance of the Dr. Ambedkar in the modern world. At the advent of the 21st century, human civilization entered not only 21st century but also third millennium. The 10,000s of years of the civilization from the Indus Valley civilization to present day modern were in the remarkable phenomena in the development of human beings. The world has been many great men from the ancient to modern world, whose remarkable contribution goes in the making our history, making, unmaking, and remaking what we are. They have reformed the world by their ideas, ideal deeds, actions, slope, and services. Shining amidst them like a star is the Bodhisattva Dr. Ambedkar, who rose from the dust to dawn with his exertion and enlightenment, revolution, and reconstruction to leave an indelible marks not on history but for the making history. And ideals and the inspiration for billions who inspire from the for the better worlds. So these are the three very much object which we can find through this topic. The first one to understand the Bodhisattva path, the Dr. Ambedkar's life and mission. Why we call modern Bodhisattva to Dr. Ambedkar is a very important experience when we see the understand Dr. Ambedkar's life that we have to learn or to understand. To investigate about the Dr. Ambedkar's Four Noble Truths in social engaged Buddhism. As we know very well, Dr. Ambedkar embraced Buddhism, but behind his embracing Buddhism, what is philosophy? How he experienced the suffering of the society and how he seek the path or how he found the path to free from the suffering in the society, what we call the untouchability or equality in the society. So that's a very important investigation we have to learn from Dr. Ambedkar's thoughts and his mission. And third and very important concern with all of you, that to know the opportunity of Buddhist study in modern India. Because of Dr. Ambedkar's contribution reforming Buddhism in 20th century, we can see the very much opportunity to study in India in Buddhist study or in Pali or many other aspects of the Buddhism. Let me see first each and every aspects of the objective to understand towards the Dr. Ambedkar's really his life and his mission in modern Indian Buddhism. Before that, let me see the outlines of the engaged Buddhism. We are trying to understand to how and what kind of contribution by the Dr. Ambedkar in social engaged Buddhism. Before that, just we have to see how engaged Buddhism was arise from, by whom, and which time, and what's there some important concept in social engaged Buddhism. It will be very much help us to understand what is the real Dr. Ambedkar's thoughts behind his social reform or reconstruct the base on the Buddhist or Buddha's philosophy. How it is very much related and it's the same moment which moment arise in China and later in Vietnam, or after that the almost all Buddhist country peoples are going to think based on the social engaged Buddhism. The influence of the Chinese master Taixu 1819-1947 on Buddhism in Vietnam. From the 1920, Vietnamese Buddhist reformer realized that the religions inspired in the great by the Chinese monk Taixu blueprint to modernize and systemize Sangha, education, and temple administration, and by his idea of the Arangian Fagio, this word is a Chinese word, its meaning in English that is the Buddhism for this world. Sometimes it's called in China humanistic Buddhism, Buddhism for only the human being. So that was the focus where first time in China emphasized by the monk Taixu. He was the great social reformer in China, and because of his great work, people are thinking very differently to practice for the help for the society, transform into society. So this meaning is the Buddhism for this world emphasize the centrality of education, modern public publishing, social work, and Buddhist lay groups to Buddhism future in the modern world. Especially the influence upon Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh as he developed his idea of engaged Buddhism. And it's a very simple and clear meaning that is to take part or be an insider. Engage means involve with the people, with the issue of the people, with the society, with the different kinds of the problem in the social, political, even education and environment. So engaging with the such all the social issues, political issues, which is called the moment of the engaged Buddhism or practice of the engaged Buddhism. Thich Nhat Hanh stressed the importance of the practical education training for the Buddhist monastic, such training in the psychology and the family issues, child education, healthcare, rural reconstructions, pedagogies at all levels, and Buddhist music, chanting, and other rituals updated for the modern world. In his 1960 book, which title is the Vietnam Lotus in a Sea of the Fire, Nhat Hanh employed the English term engaged Buddhism. First time he used in this book the meaning of the engaged Buddhism or concept of the engaged Buddhism, and he applied with the peoples or disciple to help to society, help to peoples in that time. In this book, he described his and his colleagues and his students many activities during the Vietnamese Buddhist struggles moment, such as the School of the Youth for the Social Services, his new Buddhist order of intervening, his group's non-violent resistance effort during the war, and his effort is the peace negotiation abroad. So this is the way, this is the place where first time Thich Nhat Hanh applied during the Vietnamese War, and later he explored the concept engaged Buddhism to establish the peace in the world. The concept of the social engaged Buddhism. How this this Buddhism could we say is a part of engaged Buddhism? As we know very well, Buddhism was origin 2,500 years ago in India, where Buddha enlightened and he introduced his experiences amongst people. What was the purpose? He introduced or he experienced his thoughts or his experiences among the peoples, only to help to peoples. Buddha only did he work after his enlightenment 45 years only to help to people to free from the suffering. So social engaged Buddhism is not the real origin in modern context, but it was already origin the time of the Buddha by himself. Because Buddha is not called the isolate or person. Buddha is the universal experience. Beyond the all limit. Buddha never, as a person, Buddha, the person, to integrate, to interbeing to everything, with the person, with the nature, with the truth everywhere. So that was the concern, that was the real experience of the Buddha. If you look in the personality of the Buddha as the historical person, as we know, the Siddhartha Gautama, and his after his enlightenment, he spent 6 to 7 weeks very near by the Bodhi tree. And as we know in the Pali Sutta, or the teaching of the Buddha, the 4th week when he was sitting under the Bodhi other tree to experience of the bliss of the enlightenment, and after the last day, one person met to Buddha, who was the Brahmin, and he communicated to Buddha, I am Brahmin because I born in Brahmin caste. And then Buddha says, no one can become Brahmin because of birth. Brahmin or good person become by their work, their practice, or their good deeds. So this is the first indication where we can see how Buddha first time after his enlightenment, he attacked or he reject the discrimination caste system in the communication of this event. So this engaged Buddhism, how this become the part of modern situation or modern contemporary world, because we can see Buddhism where start from the Buddha and later Buddhism spread in different countries and different time. That Buddhism totally become traditional Buddhism, monastic Buddhism, and because of that many things has been entered and not to think about the people's and social problem by the Buddhist monks or Buddhist disciples. So that's what they rethink, they reinterpret the teaching of the Buddha in the context of social engaged Buddhism. This is the process of the recoining the spiritual path continue today, where it start from the Buddha's enlightenment, and as the exemplifies by the recent development in engaged Buddhism. Briefly, engaged Buddhism is an international movement whose participants seek to apply the Buddhist ideas of wisdom and compassion to present-day social, political, and environmental issues. If we compare the social engaged Buddhism movement and other Buddhist movement which based on the traditional, they have different kind of the approach to practice the teaching of the Buddha. But in the context of the engaged Buddhism, anyone can become member of the engaged Buddhism. There is no need to follow as a traditionally like to refuse the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and wear some kind of the clothes and ordination. They just to accept, they understand the importance of wisdom and compassion and put the practice to transform or help to peoples and society. So those people can become the member of engaged Buddhism or movement of engaged Buddhism. So it's a kind of the open umbrella, open Buddhism practice based on engaged Buddhism. Nowadays, people are thinking and they work and they become activists is a part of engaged Buddhism. To the spiritual liberation of individual into spiritual liberation to others. If you can see, just I earlier said, traditionally Buddhism just they think to liberation on the individual. But in the context of engaged Buddhism, people are thinking, or those who activists at those who are looking the aspects of the suffering of the people, suffering in the society, they are thinking, they explore the liberation to others. Nibbana is not only for person, Nibbana for the social change to entire world. And that engaged Buddhism entails both inner and outer work. When you're talking about the work for the society, it means not we are not work for the oneself. Without the oneself, we cannot work for others. So this is the way where we must change the world. We must change ourselves, and we must change oneself in the order to change the world. So changing the oneself to changing the world. It means transforming the one's mind to transforming to society. So this is the concept of engaged Buddhism, which are very much going to popular in the worldwide. And even Dr. Ambedkar also used this concept in context of the Indian society problem to free from the suffering of the untouchability. As we know in Buddhism, show the three very important poison, which we know the greed, anger, and delusion. This poison is not only the cause of suffering of individual, but in same time, it is a cause of to establish the capitalism. And whatever suffering in the society, that could be poverty, that could be environment, or even kind of the political. So these all kind of the problem, whatever exists in the world because of the poison which taught in Buddhism. The social action is itself the kind of meditation and can be great repainer of the compassion and the equanimity, who called the Zen master Philip. So this is the way where we can see the how engaged Buddhism has been, this concept or this moment has been established very from 1920 around, and later development right now in the modern world. So let me see how this, based on the engaged Buddhism, when later we call the social engaged Buddhism. So what is the role of Dr. Ambedkar in the established to reform Buddhism based on the social transformation in Indian society? So word of the Bodhisattva, we are very much familiar, those who belongs to Mahayana tradition or even Theravada tradition also, because the Siddhartha was the Bodhisattva before the become enlightened. So path of the Bodhisattva is the basic practice in Buddhism, even in Theravada or Mahayana. But later development in Mahayana, they more emphasize, they more focus the meaning and the practice of the Bodhisattva. So in that context, if you ask the question, in the modern context, in your culture, in Myanmar or in Vietnam or Sri Lanka or Indian Asian Buddhist country, so we can see that many peoples, many great masters, those who do work to spread teaching of the Buddha amongst the peoples to free from suffering and makes them happy. So in the context of the India, as we know the history of the India from the Buddha and later great contribution by the King Ashoka, and later many kings, those who work for the spread teaching of the Buddha, like Kanishka and Gupta, then up to 12th century. So up to 12th century, India was like a hub of the Buddhism. And during that time, Buddhism reached in different countries because of King Ashoka or many other kings. And same time, we can see the great knowledge institution, as we know the Nalanda, Taxila, Udantpuri, and Valbhi. These are different states have different universities. So that was the rich period of Buddhism in India, where many foreigners or from China and Japan and many other scholars came to study in Nalanda and many other universities. This was the great history in India. Buddha, India is the land of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Those who are the great scholars or acharyas, we could know the Nagarjuna, Asanga, Subandhu, Shantideva Acharya, and Padma Sambhava. These all were born in Indian land. So when we talk and understand about the importance of India, not only because of the Buddha, but later the contribution by his disciple, those who follow the path of the Bodhisattva, who call to become the Bodhisattva. And in context of the modern, in context of the modern, in India, we see in 1891 first time, Anagarik Dharmapala, who established the Mahabodhi Society to reform Buddhism in India, to free from the Buddha Gaya from Brahmin or Hindu culture. So this was the very beginning in modern revival in India. Let's start from Anagarik Dharmapala. And same year, 1891, is very important. In same year, who called the Bodhisattva, Dr. Ambedkar, was born 1891, 14th April. So this is the coincidence, but it is very important when we can see that after 12th century up to 18th century, Buddhism totally were going to decline, and many teaching or some very important practices in Buddhism, they're totally going to become polluted by the Hindu ideology, where they polluted to teaching of the Buddha. But later, you can see in 19th century, 1920th century, right now we are in 21st century. So these peoples, those especially Anagarik Dharmapala and later work by Dr. Ambedkar. So why we call the Bodhisattva? First, before that, just we try to understand the meaning and concept of the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva can be an awakened being, a being on the way to awakening, or being who awakens to others. Very simple meaning. Bodhi, it means enlightened, and Sattva, it means being. Those who wish or commit to become the Buddha to help to everyone's or all human beings, those who follow the Bodhisattva. As properly depicted in the Jatak Katha, if you read the very important text in Pali, so Jatak Katha showing to how Siddhartha was early in his life as a Bodhisattva, and how he did work to help the people in society as a Bodhisattva. There's all stories showing the path of the Bodhisattva. There are also archetypal and cosmic Bodhisattva later development, especially Mahayana, and later expandation of the Mahayana into Vajrayana and Mantrayana. They have developed some the quality based Bodhisattva. That is the Manjushri, who embodies like both wisdom, and Avalokiteshvara, who embodies the compassion, and many other Bodhisattvas in China, in Tibet, and in Vietnam also. Because Vietnamese cultures, what I read it, what I do understand, that almost influenced by the Chinese cultures and Chinese Buddhism, who so called the Mahayana tradition. So because of that, so whatever the teachings and experiences that came from the India when Buddhism were existence, the part of Mahayana and Vajrayana, and later it goes to other different countries. So Bodhisattva mind to refer to deep intention to come, to awaking together with all beings. So what is the Bodhisattva totally related with the Bodhicitta? Bodhicitta, its means the intention or intuition to help to others, which we call sometimes the compassion. Compassion, it means the Bodhicitta. So this Bodhisattva's mind, that means Bodhicitta, to refer the deep intention to come to awaking together with all beings. So let me see, based on this, the concept which we know very well as the part of Mahayana tradition. So how Dr. Ambedkar was the Bodhisattva in his life and his action. Let us see the childhood and youth Ambedkar, the first very beginning life of Dr. Ambedkar. He called the Bhiva. Bhiva is a very lovely name given by his mother, because his mother name was the Bhima. So let me see the Bhiva or Bhimrao Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, or Bhiva Ramji Ambedkar. Ramji name was his father. Ambedkar is the surname. Patronymic was Sakpal. Was born 14th April 1981. Mahu, at Mahu. So Mahu, the acronym of the military headquarters of the war. It was Madhya Pradesh. Right now that place has been developed as a stupa. I don't know, you might be some visit or not, but when you come in India, definitely you have to visit in this place where Bhimrao was born, as the 14th child of the Ramji Sakpal and Bhima Bai in the Mahar untouchable community. So this community was suppressed, depressed community, lower than the poor, because poor community is not hated by to anyone, but Mahar community, those who born in that caste, they hatred, they reject to all kinds of the rights. So not to allow to take the education, water, walking, live it together, even to touch the shadow. It's very dangerous. Not to touch the shadow. So such kind of foundation were in the community of the Mahal, those who people were living in that time, and nowadays also some kind of events happen in surrounding in Indian different state. People have atrocity by the upper caste people. So Mahal community he was born, and after that, when he was born at Mahu, and then his father Ramji was working as Subedar in the military, in military job, and after his retirement, he shifted at the Satara, which is the place of the Maharashtra. We can see that Madhya Pradesh has different place, different state right now, and then he shifted the Maharashtra, where they come. His father family came from the Satara. Because of job, they lived at the Mahu, and after his retirement, he come back their place as a Satara in 1896, and Bhimrao lost his mother when he was just 5 years. After that, he enrolled in the primary school of the Satara as a boy of the military man person. They only have the facility to enroll their children's and child into school, but amongst the other people, those who from the Mahar community, lower caste people, they are not allowed to enroll or get education because of British government, ruled by British government, and he was the servant. Because of they have the opportunity to Sabkal's Ramji's daughter, sons or his children's, and Bhimrao was the person. He get the opportunity to enroll school and get the education, but that taking the education was not easy. Still, British government they allow to take education from those family, those who job in military and then retired. But the higher caste people, those who follow the caste system and they're not to allow to get the facility to low caste people, they have treat what they want to do, and that's what the very deep impact or experiences of the reality of unhuman practice of the untouchability by the teachers, by the staff, and caste Hindus in the society. So I would not to say everything, but very few events I just want to say. When he goes to school, he could not allow to take drinking water, not to sit together to other students. He was sitting outside of the class. So many things where he experienced in his childhood, and all these experiences, if you want to read and to understand what kind of the experiences Dr. Ambedkar's life is a part of untouchability, you should have to read this book, autobiography notes. It's called the Waiting for a Visa. Dr. Ambedkar has narrated the horrible experiences of the untouchability in this book, and this book nowadays in Columbia University in America, it's a part of their curriculum, because he was a student in Columbia, as we know, and he was the great student when the survey after 100 years happened. Dr. Ambedkar was the first students, those who did great contribution to society, and because of the symbol of knowledge. He respect the symbol of knowledge because of his knowledge was totally for the humanity. So this is the greatness of Dr. Ambedkar. So because of they added his book in their curriculum, waiting for a visa. Let us see the journey of the path of the Buddha, how he started his journey. To introduce Buddhism or life of the Buddha and how impact Buddhism on his life and how he think way of the Buddha. Then his family moved to Bombay, admitted in the Maratha High School and later in the Elphinstone High School, his father teaching or education. And 1907, this is the very important events in his life when he passed in matriculation or 10th examination because of the celebration of his great success. Some peoples of his father's friend and many other people, they organized one meeting, and in that meeting, the Dada Keluskar, who was the author of the book of the life of the Buddha, who presented to Dr. Ambedkar. So this was the first contact where Dr. Ambedkar read and understand and inspire. Very much inspired because in that time he was very intelligent. Age of 16, he was very much intelligent, and not only the study of education, but experience of the suffering. He looked and he accessed the how people have thinking and their behavior to him. So that was the experience. And when he read the first time the life of the Buddha, he very much impressed in the Buddhism or part of the life of the Buddha. Such kind of there no discrimination. He totally inspired from the Buddha's compassion or his greatness to work for the society. So there, this is the way where Dr. Ambedkar's journey starts to engage with the life of the Buddha and his teaching. Bhimrao got married as age of the 18 with the Ramabai. She was very poor, but very ethical, very supporter to Dr. Ambedkar's life. Because of without Ramabai's support, Dr. Ambedkar could not take proper education and he could not work for the society. He always his support to his education or his work, what he spent his total his time, money, and his knowledge to help for the society. So Bhimrao returned his life to Buddha and later to see the religious revolution in 1956. Then he higher education, his journey starts July 1930 to 1970 in Columbia University. He pursued MA and PhD and later remaining study where he did in England and Germany 1920 to 1922. He pursued degree MSc and BSc in economics, and same year he pursued the degree of barrister at law. So this is the way where Dr. Ambedkar, when he was the Bhimrao, and then he became the Dr. Ambedkar by his own effort, by his higher education. So self-effort, he became the doctor, full of knowledge, and his knowledge only not on the particular on that subject. He acquired the knowledge in various dimension in various subjects like anthropology, sociology, humanity, religions, politics, economics. Economics, the subject is very unique in his total study, but many other subjects he studied to understand how people are thinking, how people are living in the world, and what's kind of the problem in society, or what is important education in to transform the social uh, uh, badness or social barriers into sustainable society. So that was his total experience through his taking the higher education from America and England, Germany, and all these countries. So let me connect or try to see the how and where his bodhicitta arise and how he practiced the six paramitas in his life. Hmm? Because when you think to call to anyone like a doctor or bodhisattva, so we find out and we try to understand what kind of his understanding and his experience and his behavior. Based on that, we believe, yes, that doctor is very excellent, and we call the bodhisattva to Dr. Ambedkar. So whatever I just give the very brief information about his childhood and his up to his education success, but we are talking about the person as a bodhisattva evolution or his development. The first the experience when he come back from the America in 1970, and he worked at the Baroda state, the king of the Maharaja Gaikawad, uh, who uh, who gave the scholarship to study in America. After the study, he commit to job in his state. But when he went there job, getting the job, and he joined that position, but he could not get the shelter. He could not get the resident in the Baroda. And because of he was person of the uh, untouchable caste, untouchable family. So that experience given his broad vision. He was thinking, I am as a doctor and educated, still the peoples, higher caste people, not to allow to give me shelter or resident, or even in the office, not to do the put the file properly on the desk, or not to get the drinking water in the same place where the other staffs and officers taking the water. So these all things very unhumanitical in Dr. Ambedkar's life when he was very much young, when he come back to earn and pursue the high degree, and that based on that experience of his untouchability, and he committed to I work for the free from the untouchability amongst to society, amongst the peoples. So that the great experience when we can see his bodhicitta, his individual chitta or mind convert into social transformation into compassion. So this is the great experience, and later that he worked in different approaches, different methods uh, to to help to peoples and free from their problems and to understand their problems. So later we can see according in year by year in Mahar Satyagraha for the human rights on 1920 March 1927, this Satyagraha for the drinking the water. The higher caste people, they not allowed to take the water from same tank, which that tank of the water, other animal can drink the water, but not to allow to drink the water to this lower caste or their community people. So that's why Dr. Ambedkar very much first Satyagraha or conference called in Mahar, very nearby the Mumbai, and the part of the Konkan or the part of the Maharashtra. They called the 10,000 people to agitate for our human rights. We are the human beings, so we should have to allow to take the water, which is tank to water allowed to everyone. So this is the journey where Dr. Ambedkar started to compassionate without any kind of the violence. Totally his struggle based on the non-violence. He could apply the violence, but he was totally very much influenced, very much practiced by in his heart, which we call the wisdom and compassion. As we know, the 6 paramitas, Shila, where the precept practice not to kill to others. Dana, it means the generosity. Shanti means tolerance, patience. Vidya, it means energy, effort. And dhyana, it means concentration. And wisdom means compassion. Wisdom means pragya. So these are the 6 qualities we can see in his each and every action where he starts with his journey in 1927 to fight the against of the untouchability, against of the discrimination, where they have big suffering in the society. Not only the one person or some 100 families, thousands of the families, millions of the peoples, those who are suffering by this social discrimination or caste system. And second satyagraha for the same place on 15 December, he burned the Manusmriti publicly. Manusmriti is the script of the Hindu traditions, where they ruled to how to establish the caste system and to follow the caste system based on the Manusmriti. The law of the Manu, where they follow, is a part of their Hindu text or Hindu religions. And this declaration of the birth right of all Hindu inspired all Hindus. Why he burned? He wanted declaration of the birthright of the all Hindus. All Hindus are equal. Those who lower caste, they are also the part of the Hindu. Why they not to allow to get everything what the other Hindu peoples allow? And he inspired the declaration of the rights of the man of the French Assembly of 1789 were adopted. So same this declaration where when he burned the Manusmriti in same year 1927 in December, he established to the human rights as they adopted in the French Assembly of 1789. And later he worked in very different way to establish the institutions and institutions for college and universities and many things to educate. Agitation, educate, and organization is the very important 3 his teaching or 3 message to the peoples to how to free from the suffering of the untouchability or discrimination, to take education, educate, agitate, and organize. Later I will be explain what is the meaning of all this thing, but let me see the what he part of his bodhisattva idea. Later he again satyagraha for the religious equality. The first one is the social equality, where he called the conference in Mahar, And second, very much conference called him in Nasik, where nearby in Pune, in enter into temple, because the temple or higher caste people, they not to allow to worship same god, which god of the higher caste, which god of lower caste, but lower caste people, especially untouchable people, not to allow into their temples to worship their same god. And that's why Dr. Ambedkar want to uh, uh, bring the attention their peoples, how they uh, how they think about you. Those religions, those who part of all of you, they're not allowed to, and they're not ready to accept as a part of their religions. So everything, there you can see the cause behind such kind of the unhumanial practice, which we call the untouchability in India, only because of the practice of religions, notion of the part of religion. And next, Dr. Ambedkar, he attended the 3 roundtable conferences in London from 1932, sorry, that mistake, 1930 to 1932, to get the political rights from the British government. He struggles to how our peoples have the situation in India to get the separate electoral board to establish their own capacity to get everything from the ruler British government. Later part of his conversion, what I earlier said, whatever he do understand in his total his struggle from 1927 and up to 1932, 35, he looked very deeply whatever he worked, but he could not succeed because the cause is different. Cause is not to getting education, cause is not to get the human rights, and cause is not get to political rights, but the root of the cause, the high caste mind and the Indian society, that was the religion. Because the untouchable people were the part of their the religions, because of they treat like that. They not treat to Muslim like that. They not treat to Sikh. They not treat to other lower caste people. Why they treat only to the lower caste people? Because of that part of the religions. And that's why Dr. Ambedkar in 1935, October 13, he declared, I was born as a Hindu, but shall not die as a Hindu. And you can see in the October 13, 1935 up to October 14, 1956, it took the 21 years to understand and comparative study of the all religions. Because conversion is not the matter of the child. He was very much awakened person to how and why to conversion, which religions, which religions are very based on humanity, and it should be based on Indian culture, not to outside culture. That should be based on Indian cultures, and he looked everything in teaching of the Buddha. And by his own practice, you can see his ethical behavior, his compassionate behavior, everything, his part showing the by following the 5 or 6 paramita in his day-to-day life. In Annihilation Caste in December 1935, that's also very important. His speech, how to annihilations, how to seize the caste, to intercaste marriage, and call to all peoples together to take the foods and celebrate get-togethers, and many given the suggestions to how to analyze annihilations of the caste. So this text also you should have to read or access to get more information or knowledge about his thoughts about how to seize and annihilations of the caste in society. He was the father of the modern scientific industry in India. Whatever industrial development like power and irrigations and many whatever, he was the great contributor because of his experience, because of his inspirations, his policies maker, as a member of the assembly, as a the law ministers, and whatever his knowledge about how to make new India, he did the everything best what he had, and he did the great job to establish the scientific industry in India. He was the father of the human labor rights and legislations and welfare. He did work for the laborers to get the proper wages and to get the maternity leaves, and all this he was very much work to the peoples and to have good life in their work. He was a great constitutionalist and nationalist when he was become the member of assembly, and he had get the responsibility as a architecture of Indian constitutions, and he did work very hard work. He was the only person where the member of the Indian constitutions, he did work 100%, more than 100%. And within 2 years, 11 months and 18 days, he took the period to write or construct the Indian constitution, which is the very large in this world. So Buddha and the future of his religions were a very important text. In 1950, that speech also very important. In that articles, he wrote the experience or new idea of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Who called the Buddha? Buddha as a Margadata or Mokshadata. He talks about the Dhamma, which kind of the characteristics those who religions become the worldwide, that should be believed. The Buddhists should be accept the ethics and scientific approach and fundamental rights, and not to increase the poverty. So all these characters he show the base of the religions. So this all thing giving the experience how Dr. Ambedkar was thinking about the welfare and spread the teaching of the Buddha. He visited Sri Lanka, he visited Burma and Nepal in various fellowship Buddhist conferences, and to explain to how Buddhism are going to revival in India, and how what is the responsibility of Asian Buddhist country to help Indian peoples, because in that time when Dr. Ambedkar was working for revival Buddhism, and peoples have very bad condition because they don't have proper education, they don't have proper money, they don't have anything. They need really many sources from Buddhist in Buddhist Asian countries, and that's why Dr. Ambedkar visited, and he explained, and he wished to take help from this all Buddhist countries. And his great mass conversion of the world, Buddhang Sharan Gacchami, at Nagpur, October 14, October 1956, with the Panchashila, refused the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and taking the Panchashila with the 22 vows. 22 vows is the Bodhisattva vows by given Dr. Ambedkar to his disciple, to free from the all practices of the Hinduism, not to follow Hinduism, and just follow to teaching of the Buddha or Buddhism. And Mahaparinirvana on 16 December 1956. I let briefly to what kind of the Four Noble Truths of Dr. Ambedkar. Whatever I try to explain to his life as a Bodhisattva path, from his childhood, later he is inspired from the Buddha when he was age of 16, and later his commitment and his work, his sacrifice, his everything. He sacrificed his body, he sacrificed his money, he sacrificed his knowledge Even he sacrificed his family. He lost 4 children because of his not taking much more care, because he always engaged with the peoples, and he sacrificed his wife very young, because he always worked for the society. So sacrifice of Dr. Ambedkar, many peoples, many thousands of families have the good life right now. So because he understood the uh, 4 noble truths, what Buddha's experience in his enlightenment, and he understood the word, how people are thinking and what kind of the problem in the society. Same Dr. Ambedkar's word, Dr. Ambedkar's experience, what I looking in his total work and his action, I found the first noble truth according to Dr. Ambedkar, that is the untouchability is the root causes of the suffering. What Buddha says in the suffering, the first noble truth, birth suffering, disease suffering, someone lost suffering, death suffering, these all sufferings what everyone's have in the human being. But untouchability is the only suffering in the Indian society, where is the very root cause of suffering in Indian peoples, where Dr. Ambedkar very much emphasized to understand what is untouchability. And second noble truth, like a Buddha, he saw the cause, dukkha samudaya, desire, attachment, and ignorance is the cause of all kind of the suffering. Here also is attachment. About what? Attachment about the wrong notion and belief of the caste system, which made by the God who called the Brahma, which written in the Bhagavad Gita or Vedas and Manusmriti. See, all texts they have to return, and that is the cause of all kind of this untouchability is a part of Hindu society in India. According to Dr. Ambedkar, what I understood, the third noble truth. What is third noble truth? Cessation of the caste mind, like a cessation of the suffering, is called the Nibbana. And in the context of Dr. Ambedkar, where he starts with the understanding of the first noble truth, untouchability, comes from the caste mind, and that the cessation of the caste mind is the third noble truth. To establishment of the casteless society, Dr. Ambedkar's goal to establish the casteless society based on the Buddha's teaching of the freedom, fraternity, and equality. This is the third noble truth according to Dr. Ambedkar. Fourth noble truth, when we can see what Buddha says, to avoid the two extreme, sensual desire and self-mortification. But in the context of Dr. Ambedkar, what I think, he avoid the path of the Hinduism, where totally depend on the inequality or blind faith and very unhumanial behavior in Hinduism. But same context, he avoid the Marxism. He not to follow Marxism. What he follow? The middle path of middle path of the Buddha. With we can see his middle path, his Bodhisattva 22 vows, to not to worship to God, not to worship to Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, not to ceremony by the Brahmin, and not to this all to reject the all cultures and beliefs and the practices where is the came from the Hindu religions, and to just follow the 5 precepts, eightfold path, paramitas, compassion and wisdom, which is a part of Buddhism. So these all the 22 oaths is the 4 noble truth according to Dr. Ambedkar. And very much his 3 shiksha, like we see the eightfold path, we categorize the Shila Samadhi Pragya according to Buddha. But when we see the Dr. Ambedkar's three kind of the shiksha, three his education or his teaching, that is educate, agitate, and organize. Educate is means to become enlightened, like a Buddha. Agitate, it means to transform our own behavior, to struggle for oneself and society. That is called the Dhamma. Organize is represent the Sangha. We work together to organize, to establish the institutions and teams to work together to fight against the social issues, or social problem, or social discrimination. And more, his more three teachings: the wisdom, compassion, and equality. This Dr. Ambedkar emphasized, or he quoted once time someone asked in BBC broadcasting, why you like Buddhism? And in that context, Dr. Ambedkar say, I like Buddhism because of wisdom, compassion, and equality. This is his middle path. This is his Four Noble Truth, to practice the wisdom, compassion, and equality. Freedom, equality, and fraternity. One same question asked to Dr. Ambedkar when he architect the Indian Constitution. Someone says you took this fundamental rights from the French Revolution. Dr. Ambedkar say no. I took this the fundamental rights from my guru, who called Buddha, Buddha's teaching, not from the French Revolution. So this was the way where we can see Four Noble Truth is the part of Dr. Ambedkar's life. So I hope so. What I try to explain in two contexts, two purpose, I given some kind of explanation. Let I say about the last and very important point: the opportunity of Buddhist study in modern India. Because of Anagarik, because of Dr. Ambedkar, Buddhism revival is a part of culture. Those who 5 lakhs people embraced Buddhism in 1956, and later many peoples in different from different state and different communities, they embrace Buddhism. And Buddhism, those who adopt by culture, by traditionally, they are following and practicing the teaching of the Buddha. But in other contexts, we can see the academic Buddhism, where we can learn and study those who you from the Vietnams and you are trying to study in Buddhism in India or anywhere in abroad. So in context of India, I just show where we can learn, study in Buddhist study and Pali. The first university, 1958, where Dr. Ambedkar's name established, Dr. Ambedkar Marathwada University, which established in Maharashtra. There also have the courses of Buddhist study and Pali. The Pali department Buddhist study in Banaras University, which founded in 1940, where is established in Bihar. Delhi University has been very much known. In 1957, Department of Buddhist Study. These all are the oldest university. Pune University, the Maharashtra, the Department of Pali, and then recently they start some courses in archaeology and Buddhist study also, or Buddhist psychology also. University of the Calcutta, where you can learn and study about the Pali. Nagpur University have Pali and Buddhist study courses. Bombay University have Pali courses. And new university, you can see the Sachi University, where recently last 2 or 3 years established many of students from your country. They study in the Sachi University. Nalanda University, which founded in 2010. It's very new, and many people from your country, those who study in this university. and very much big university in the India, in the I think Asian Buddhist country, that is the Gautam Buddha University, 2002, which first academic session start with 2008, and the area 581 acres is Noida, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh, and it's a university recognized by the University Grant Commission and the UGC Act in member of the Association of Indian University. So here in our university where I'm as a teacher, and we have the different courses, certificate courses, Pali and Buddhism, and diploma also we have Pali and BA honors in Buddhist study and MA honors in Buddhist study. MPhil, I think, which is going to end in from this year. We have PhD in Buddhist study, and it's a very beautiful university where established by the very much inspired from the Dr. Ambedkar and Buddha, who was the founder, Kanshiram, and Benji Mayawati, who was the former chief minister in UP, Uttar Pradesh. So this very unique university in India, name of the Gautam Buddha, and totally his establishment or his archaeology based on the will of the Dhamma. You can see that every buildings and school classrooms and everything based on will of the Dhamma. So this is the Nagarjuna University also in South. So there also have many courses on Mahayana traditions. So it is the way where you should have to think to come in India and get only not education in academically. I'm the academic person, but same I'm the practitioner of Buddhist teachings, of follower of Buddha and Dr. Ambedkar. So that the concern when we study about Buddhism is not only for to earn the degree and just become the name of the scholar, but in the same time we have to think to how to work to peoples, not only in peoples in your country, but same time you can think to how to work with Indian peoples or nearby other countries peoples who are very suffering. So this is the because Buddhist Sangha is not only the part of their traditions or their nations. The Buddhist Sangha is a represent the worldwide Sangha. Whatever institutions or Sangha is a part of your organization. I hope so. I try to do my best. I think you maybe enjoy and learn, and you have some questions or you want to ask to me, so you can ask me. Otherwise, I have to stop here. So thank you very much, Dick Dong Tak. So I'm very much happy and I need your help. And one more thing I would like to say, I recently one NGO we start with some peoples, and we are working for very nearby Gautam Buddha University in Greater Noida to help to poor peoples, to inspire to get proper education, and they have to work for their good life for person to become ethical person, mindful person. So we are working in that area last 3 to 4 months, and we get more success because students are we getting 80 to 90 students in one center. We have opened the 2 center in very nearby in Greater Noida. I will be send some details, and if you have some ideas to how to help these people, so definitely I request to everyone. So thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Dr. Manish Meshram, for enlightening us the wonderful topic today, Bodhisattva, Dr. Ambedkar's vulnerable truths in socially engaged Buddhism. I think we have lots of knowledge that you have given our club members. Through your presentation, I believe that all our participants and members here have understood clearly and fully about prominent features of Bodhisattva, Dr. Ambedkar's foreign Buddhists in socially engaged Buddhism, and some useful information about some famous new, old and new university in India. Once again, thank you, Dr. Manish Meshram. Now it's time for us to come to a Q&A session. Anyone who wants to ask our guest, kindly open your mic and feel free to ask. Don't hesitate, please. And questions are warmly welcome in this session, please. Are there any questions? See? Are there have any questions? Well, Dhamma brother Nhung Yak, please, open your mic, please.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Hi, professors. I have one request. In 1956, in May, a talk by Ambedkar titled Wildlife Buddhism and How It Can Use to School for Encouraging Circumstances was broadcast from the British Broadcasting Corporation, London. In the talk, Ambedkar says, I like Buddhism because Buddhism has three principles that combine that no other religion has. Buddhism teaches Rajan, understands these four civilizations, Karuna and Samatha. This is what people want to have a beautiful and happy life. Even God can do anything for you. But religion is morality. Buddhism embraces morality. Buddhism has no meaning wisdom morality. It asserts that Buddhism does not worship God. God ranges in religions. What morality does God put into all the religions in the Buddhism? Please tell me a little bit about the statements. Thank you. Are you clear, Professor?
Some little bit. I try to do answer. If you are satisfied, then you can say yes. When asked the question, Dr. Ambedkar, why you do like Buddhism, and he says, I find in Buddhism the wisdom. So wisdom, as we know, the understanding about the reality. And because of that, Buddha, what he says, only the wisdom. He compared the wisdom, how roles in Buddhism, because he was very much learned person, where he studied in America and many other universities. He do understand how important of wisdom or education in human being's life. And same Buddha emphasized to develop or follow the wisdom practice in this life. And same, when someone have wisdom is not enough without the compassion. Someone have wisdom knowledge, but without the compassion to help to peoples, so this does not really helpful to their society or their life. So compassion is very active mode, where we can see in the Buddha's life, or same Dr. Ambedkar look very deep his experiences or his practices, where Buddha worked in his life based on the compassion. And Buddha give the equality to everyone. Because without equality, if you're not to allow to get the opportunity to others, because society or person never exists in the same level. People's always living some up, some down. But up class peoples or developed peoples have to think to get the opportunity to lower caste or low peoples. That is called the equality. So equality is the very important in to establish or reconstruct the society based on the sustainability, based on the sustainable society. So this is the Dr. Ambedkar's vision to embrace Buddhism, or he liked Buddhism because the show this the path of wisdom, compassion, and equality in together.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Thanks for your answering, sir. Now we will come to the second question. I would like to invite Dharma Sister Nhung Wang over the mic to you, Dharma Sister.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. The application of the method of the meditation variety to body and mind is very necessary in the present life.
I not heard your question properly. Otherwise, just you write in message box. I could read it and understand what do you want to ask question. It is helpful to me.
Can you ask again, Dharma Sister Nhung Wang?
Where can I find out about Buddha's wish? Where can I find
louder in a morning?
Dr. Ambedkar?
The
Which
application
document?
of the method of the meditation variety to body
Which
and mind.
you need. It means you want to find Dr. Ambedkar's life and his work, where we can find the document or text. This is the question. So answer, if you want to understand the life of the Dr. Ambedkar in book or in his documentation, after his death, so Indian government published the 22 volumes, his speeches and his writings. So it is available very much on internet PDF files. So this is the great documents where we can see and read, and we can buy also in physical form. But if you don't want to buy it, so you can download. If you don't have the website, I will be share the website where we can download from this all documents, which are very totally related with Dr. Ambedkar's work and his life. It's clear? One more question: how can you use the Four Noble Truths in your cultivation? Aha, good question. Who asked me?
Please.
Hong 3. Thank you.
Please
How
over
can
your
you
Dharma brother Henry.
Yeah. Shall I give the
Dharma
answer?
brother Henry, please open your mic.
So these questions, what you're asking to me is, thank you, because I'm the person where I born in same community, same family. My father was working as a labor, and he was very much inspired from Dr. Ambedkar's missions and his work. And very childhood, I introduced to Dr. Ambedkar's life and life of the Buddha. And since that, when I see the life in my life, the suffering because of poverty, because of some kind of discrimination, when I went to school and meet to higher caste peoples, how they think about about me, and sometimes what I think about myself, because the we can say when someone born in lower caste, they have some kind of agitation or guilty. My suffering, if I see the suffering in my life, the guilty of the born in the lower caste. So that is the, if I see the suffering in my life, the first noble truth, the suffering of the guilty of born in this caste, because people are thinking those who born in this caste, they are not allowed to take anything and not to treat as a human beings. So that's the first noble truth what I experienced in my life to in my young life. And I later did study. I did study in graduation, post graduation, and I contact with the sangha of the Buddhist sangha and practice meditation, and then I do understand the cause of this untouchability or cause of this kind of the experience. So that was the mental experience. Why people are thinking about me or my caste or my family is not matter. What I am thinking myself. What people are thinking to lower caste, are they following the caste practices? Their mind's problem. But what I accept, what I do not think as a human being, and then I try and practice to meditations and practice of morality and many other study and connect with the Buddhist peoples or the teachers. So that is when I see the cause and I work on that cause, I free from that humiliating mind or some kind of inhumiliation state of the mind, and I accept as a human being. I feel I'm human being. I dignity I have place in this society, in these nations as a human being. So that's the experience when I follow, when I look at the Four Noble Truths, the problem with the cause, and how to free from that inhumanial experience of because of the caste, because of the born in that caste society. That I work, and I right now I look the peoples and myself as a human being with the full of wisdom and compassion. So this is the answer. I think you could satisfy what I cultivate in myself to follow the Four Noble Truths. How can you use the Four Noble Truths in same questions? So I think you may be satisfied.
Yakman Chow, please unmute your mic. Yakman Chow, please unmute your mic. Yes. So.
Thank you, sir. Now we come to the fourth questions. I would like to invite Dharma Sister Han Min. Please, over your mic.
Hi, sir.
Are you right, also?
Yes, I have a question. How does Dr. Ambedkar ideology refer to social class in India?
Just you write down. I couldn't get. Write down in chat box, sister.
Repeat the question again. I'll write down your question.
Write down. It's writing is good for me. I can think about what your question. You write down in chat box.
That's all. Yes.
Dr. Ambedkar's ideology affect. Yeah. Very good question. How does Dr. Ambedkar's ideology affect to social classes in India? So that Dr. Ambedkar's ideology, where he start from in 1920, when first time he start the writing in the publication, and he tried to await to their three levels. His impact in three levels. The first level, to their own community peoples, because their own community peoples were from he was born from that community. They don't know about the dignity of human being. They totally forget. They accepted that the slavery of untouchability. And Dr. Ambedkar awake them. You are the human beings. You don't accept this slavery of untouchability where higher caste people forcefully followed by you. So that's the more impact to their peoples, those who belongs to untouchable caste people. Through he aware their peoples by the gathering and speeches and interactions, conferences, many tools Dr. Ambedkar used to aware their peoples, their community. The first impact, and that impact right now also going on in not only right now impact on their community peoples, other caste people also they impact right now. They are thinking how Brahminical cultures, how Brahminical practices they slaver their community peoples. Not only right now only one community, but many community peoples, they have rethinking what Dr. Ambedkar's have ideas to live a good life as a human being. The second one impact in the time of Dr. Ambedkar and right now in Indian society, those who were orthodox Brahmin people, their mind also were going to change in that time. Some very individuals, but right now many orthodox peoples, Brahminical peoples, they have also think differently, very softly. They were in that time, they act very hardly, but because of Dr. Ambedkar's this kind of conversions and his great architecture of Indian Constitution, and he worked for to everyone's in the Indian society. So the Orthodox community, Orthodox Brahmin heart of their minds has been changed, but not 100%. They always think how to control to lower caste people and to become they ruled based on inequality, based on kind of based on unhumanical practices. And third and very important impact to in time of the Buddha, time of the Dr. Ambedkar, impact on the British rule government, because the British government also they always managed to their upper caste people. They never they very much impact or very much they force to upper caste people to follow their rules or follow their some kind of laws, those who laws very welfare to lower caste people. Just they construct or they issue the notice, this tank allowed to everyone's, but they never to follow to how to use the water to everyone's. So they always with the Brahminical community, they have to always think about their peoples, upper caste peoples. But Dr. Ambedkar, when he entered in assembly with the British government, some positions, and after that they have to change their mind. They accept how they have worked to untouchable people, lower caste people. So that also very much impact in British government mind. So Dr. Ambedkar is not only to impact or he just not to work for their peoples, but same time he struggled with the Brahminical thoughts, Brahminical mind, and same time he struggled with the British government mind. So this is kind of, I think, it's a effect to almost all where. One more question. Today's society problems is unable to distinguish between suffering, happiness. They get confused between suffering. So how can we recognize the truth about suffering? That leads to happiness right now. The applications of the methods of meditation practice to balance body, mind, eliminate in the present time. Yes, both are related. Inner happiness and outer happiness. So Dr. Ambedkar's or even Buddha or even you and me or whoever great teachers in, especially in Buddhist traditions, when you think about the social transformation, it's not happened, the transformation oneself. Without the inner happiness, we cannot happy to others. So whatever social issues, what kind of we want to become happy person or happy society, so that's we have to find out the balance. Middle path is the applicable in the time of the Buddha, at the same time in the applicable in the modern contemporary world. You can heard about the concept of the sustainability. Before the when industry revolution start, and because of industry revolution, we can see the impact on the environment and on the family and economy. People are thinking only for to become consumed or capitalization. But later development of the research and many policies, we can see they found they established a sustainable society, sustainable development. So that show the being the well-being. So well-being, well society or sustainable society, it's the part of inter-living beings in the inside. When we happy inside to doing meditation, mindfulness and awareness. But in same time, we have to work for the people, society, their suffering. That suffering could be come from because of poverty, because of disease, because of social or politicals or environmental. So that's kind of we have to think, and we definitely eliminate whatever problem in life, because all problem arise everyone's individual's mind. Mind is the source of the arising the problem. That could be personal problem or social problem. I remember the very important statement of Venerable Dalai Lama. He says, whatever problem in the world, like violence and war and discrimination and pollutions and whatever, that all problem because of the wrong notion of the self. He said, wrong notion of the self. And self-attachment is the cause of suffering to individuals and to everyone. So that's the meaning where we can work for the society, same time we have to work for oneself. And when we work for the oneself, we have to think about the society. So then only we can save oneself, we can save to others. So this is the way where Dr. Ambedkar also looked, and he gave the path. Because of he gave the path of teaching of the Buddha. He to understand the needs of the peoples, not only the bread, not only the money. Because money and bread satisfied the body, not the mind. And because of the need of the mind, Dr. Ambedkar gave the path of the Buddha, spiritual life, meditation, eightfold path, whatever we can say in our tradition. So this is the Dr. Ambedkar purpose to conversion into Buddhism, not only to gain the physical and worldly benefit, but in same time the spiritual benefits, where people's or every needs of the all kind of the society to satisfy themselves only by the Buddha's teaching. Okay.
Well, sir, thanks for sharing. Now we'll come to the sixth question. Dharma Sister Nyongsa, please, of your mic.
Good afternoon, Bante.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, how to overcome karma of the unwholesomeness accumulated in the previous lives?
Unwholesome karma, negative karma.
Yeah. Yes.
How to free?
Yes.
Okay. First, how to free? Before that, we have to understand what is negative karma or unwholesome karma. Without the understanding about the its existence and cause of the existence, we cannot free from the wholesome unwholesome karma. And we can see that origin of the teaching, it is start to the sabba papa sakara. Whatever unskillful deed, unskillful thoughts, we have to protect it, not to practice. And Panchashila also, we have to avoid to killing and stealing and misconduct. So this all the showing the rules and practices how to not to do wrong things by the body, speech and mind. But why we are doing, that's the question. Buddha say not to do, but what we are doing as a person, because we don't have awareness. Indriya samvara. Without Indriya samvara, all negative actions we are doing by body, speech and mind. So awareness is the practice. When we aware with our sixth sense, that is a practice to protect, to not to do unwholesome karma, which very much harmful to individuals and everyone's. So second one things, when we do kindness, meditation, compassion, the four Brahma Vihara, the Indriya Samvara is very basic practice to not to do the unwholesome karma, but the same time we have to engage with the positive karma. Without the engaging the positive karma, we cannot reject the negative karma. Mind needs something, always act. Mind should be always engaged. If not engaged, so you will be bored, will be some frustration. So what I have next job? I'm not doing this one. I don't do this one, which is wrong and negative. But what I have to do? So protecting your negative karma, you have to spread or develop the positive karma. It goes together like two legs, two hands, or two wings of the bird. Bird cannot fly with one wing. Needs the two wings. So two wings, the balance when you aware the indriyas, follow the Indriya Samvara, awareness of the sense, sixth sense. But at the same time, you have to practice the Metta Bhavana. Metta Bhavana to help to think positive towards to oneself and to others, to become happy, to wish to happy. Because we wish to desire, we are doing the unwhole action, unwhole karma or negative karma. But when you wish to happy, we are convert that wish to desire to convert to wish to happy. Mind is one, but mind does work two types. Function have two types. Mind is one. This direction or that direction. The yoniso and ayoniso manaskara, when you think improperly, that represent the unwholesome karma. When you think properly, that represent or is impact the wholesome karma. The wholesome karma, unwholesome karma, based on your approach, your intention, which we call in Pali, yoniso or ayoniso manaskara. So I hope so. If you want to stop our negative karma, we have to away, especially on indriyas, and then we have to do meditation practice or practical practice of the metta. Yes, sister, happy?
Yes, thank you, Bante.
Thank you.
Thanks, now we come to the seventh question today. Dharma sister Vang Linh, please open your mic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you share me how to practice wisdom, compassion, and equality?
Practice of wisdom, compassion, and equality.
Yes.
Yeah, you visit to GPU and meet to me. I have lots of wisdom practices. I will teach you and we do together, because wisdom is the practice of understanding of coexistence. Paticca Samutpada, who understand or 12 Nidana, or the experience of the arising and passing, which we experience to seeing the everything. Everything, it means our body, our thoughts, our actions, or all kind of the phenomena arising in passing. When we have experience, when you contemplate, to get to see the insight of the happening, that is called the wisdom. And wisdom, according Buddhism, he categorized three levels: Srutmay Pragya, Chintanmay Pragya, and Bhavanamay Pragya. Srutmay means listening wisdom. When you listen, you have to listen properly. Listen as a listen. Word goes very your ear into heart. There is no any distractions between when you listen. You totally concentrate with listening. That is the wisdom. Second, when you listen properly, mindfully, then you have to contemplate. Sit, isolate place, close the eyes, or you sit on the chair and just what you listen, just you contemplate. Think again and again. Reflection. What is that? Why is that? How is that? What is the effect? What is the positive effect? What is the negative effect? What is the important? What is not important? Ask the many questions on that particular what you listen. You see all dimension. That is called Chintanmay Pragya. Not just you have to follow what someone says, your teachers and any text. If you just follow, it's not become the powerful wisdom. It's become just the listener wisdom. We become just listener. We cannot become Buddha without practicing the Chintanmay Pragya. And when you chintan, when you reflection, then you have to do meditation. First level, second level, third level. To experience of the vitarka, vichar, priti, sukha, ekagrata. That's the upchar and arpana samadhi. Upchar samadhi, it means eliminate all 5 hindrances, which called the upachara samadhi, very nearby the arpana samadhi, which called the upachara samadhi. And when you enter in the arpana samadhi, absorption of the state of mind, which called the meditative mind, first level, second, third, and fourth. And in that level, we get the concentration with the nibbana. Happy mind develop the concentration, and concentration, when you concentrate on a particular topic and any object, there we can see the reality as it is. There is the wisdom. That is called bhavanamaya pragya. Without meditation, no one can experience the bhavanamaya pragya. Whenever in Buddhism, when you read the word of wisdom or pragya, that is means bhavanamaya pragya. It not means the chintanmaya and listening pragya. That is your own part, what you listen, what you contemplate. But when you read the word of the wisdom, that is only showing the wisdom is an excellent, pure wisdom. That is the meaning of the word. So many ideas, many methods, many way we can practice to understand the wisdom, contemplate 12 nidanas and 6 elements practice, and panchaskanda, and many way to contemplate, to understand impermanence, natures, three existence of nature, impermanence, coexistence, and unsatisfactoriness, anitya, anatta, dukkha. So these are the methods when we can develop the wisdom. And compassion, when someone have the experience of the wisdom, and we act, when we act with that wisdom, that is called the compassion. It means acting wisdom is called the compassion. This wisdom, isolate wisdom. You free from yourself, your attachment, your aversions, your defilements. But when you try to help to others to free from their defilements, their problems, to work for their peoples, that is called the compassion. And compassion have need to practice like Brahma Vihara. Metta Bhavana is the foundation of the compassion. Without metta, we cannot develop the compassion. Because of metta, when someone have the suffering, that metta convert in wisdom. Like your friend. If you have friend, good friend, and he is suffering, what happened? Because of your metta, friendship, that convert into compassion to help them. Otherwise, you cannot help them because you don't have metta. So metta, compassion, and wisdom goes together. And equality, that the totally the importance of the accept to other as a human being, that is called equality. What you gain, what you have, you wish, and you have to try to get that same opportunity to others. Like you have clothes, you have education, you have good food. You have to create the position, you have to create the situation to those who don't have get that things, we have to help them. To maintain the opportunity, to create the opportunity and allow the opportunity to others. So that is called the equality. Equality is just not to become to all equal. In the world, no one can become equal. No one have, everyone don't have the same money, don't have same luxurious life, don't have same good life. We all peoples are living in different level, different situation. But in the context of the equality, like when Buddha saw the total world after his enlightenment to his teaching given or not, and he saw the many lotus in the pond. In that pond of water, some lotus down, some lotus up, some lotus very much high. So that is the nature of total humanity. And to understand the existence of the different level or different level of the existence of humanity, based on that we have to give the opportunity to not to suffrage to anyone, to give the way to help them. So that is called equality. Yes, clear?
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your explanation, sir. Now we come to the eighth question. Dharma sister Houghton, please open your mic.
Good afternoon, sir. I have a question. Can you help me, please?
Yes, I think this is the last question, brother and sister, because I have some work, so
yes.
I have to go some.
Why Ambedkar renounced Hinduism and why he not choose other religions but chose Buddhism?
Yeah, good question. And this question asked many people to Dr. Ambedkar also, and himself he gave the answer in various his speeches and his various his writing, and he took the very long period when he first declared in 1935, I shall not die in Hinduism or Hindu. Since that he worked to study about the all other religions, which I earlier also said. He was very much precise, and he understood three needs of the people in the Indian peoples. The first need, he understood the every individuals, not only Indian peoples or total humanity peoples need the Dhamma or Dharma. Without Dharma or without Dhamma, people cannot live on this planet. But that Dhamma should not follow hypocrisy. That kind of Dhamma, Dr. Ambedkar never ever accept. He accept the democracy with religion. The first need, when he try to understand and he study in the all religions, which kind of religions, what you ask the question, what he not to convert to other, because he was the master, he was the very scientist to understand the meaning, experience, and impact of religions in total India or all over the world. And in 1950, his articles, he compared the Buddhism, Hinduism, Muslim, Islam, and Christianity. In that articles, if you read, you can get more information. What Dr. Ambedkar emphasized in the big religious founder in their roles in their Dhamma. So this is the his understanding about the Buddhism, because Buddhism there is no hypocrisy, there is no any kind of blind faith, and there is no discrimination. So this is the way. And all other religions have something hypocrisy, something inequality, or some discrimination. If you see in the Hinduism, have the total based on the discrimination. There is no place of the person, there is no place of the humanity, there is no place of the freedom of the thoughts, there is no place of the fraternity. They are fraternity only, they are people, those who born their caste, not to other caste. So there is very clear in their Vedas and their Manusmriti and all their kinds of the practices. They're not to allow to get the privilege to others, just only the things to get privilege themselves. That is the, if you compare in Hindu religions, and same you can see the Muslim, and they have also their only their community peoples, they not to involved to all humanity. But in Buddhism, if you become Buddhist, that person not to decline to other humanity, other peoples. This is the difference than Islamic person, Islamic religions. And in Christianity also have good brotherhood or equality also, but they don't have freedom. You cannot ask the question on the God or Christian issue. Whatever issue says, whatever written in Bible, it is the final. It is not. You cannot revise. You cannot investigate word of the God. What says by the issues. So this is the way where Dr. Ambedkar he studied and he understood the all other religions don't have that characteristics which characteristics have Buddhism. The first one is the scientific view in Buddhism, second one is the morality, and third is the fundamental rights, fraternity, equality, and brother freedom, and fourth one is the there is no allowed to live as a poor person. Like Christianity, they have think and they follow. Poor person is very good devotee of God. But Dr. Ambedkar declined this poverty in context of Buddhism. Poverty is the cause of suffering. So this is the first cause, and next and very important cause to convert into Buddhism. Dr. Ambedkar was looking the Indian culture religions. So if you compare the Christianity, Islamic, or all other religions, they are not Indian culture. If Dr. Ambedkar become Christians or Muslim, so India has been going to a different mode. So he was very much aware about the Indian nation. He was. He says, I am first Indian and last Indian. He was very much devotee of Indian nationality, and Buddha's teaching origin of India, and because of that he converted into Buddhism. So these are the two very much causes or where Dr. Ambedkar convert only in Buddhism. Okay, so I have some work. So thank you very much. I'm very much glad and enjoy with all of you. What your other questions? I will give some more time in next to next. What you have some more questions or some understanding you want to.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for answering on our members' questions. Now, may I request Dharma Sister Nhung Trang to give further thanks. Sister, please.
So yes, I am going to leave. Thank you very much.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear all participants, I am going to offer support to our guest speaker and participants. First of all, we are very pleased to see the encouragement and intentions of most when Dr. Thich Dong Thanh recommended the School of Buddhist Study on faculty member and teacher to found this pioneer club in the field of Buddhist study. For the wonderful presentation, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Ben, Dr. Manish Meshram, Assistant Professor, School of Buddhist Study and Citizens Gautam Buddha University, who not only accepted our official invitation as guest speaker today, but also delivered the session excellent presentation and discussion on Bodhisattva Ambedkar for number two in socially integrated Buddhism. Thank you very much, Dr. Manish, for enlightening all the wonderful topic today. We have got lots of knowledge and useful information that you have given our class member. Through your presentation, I believe that all participants and members here have understood clearly and fully about prominent figures Buddhism, Bodhisattva Dr. Ambedkar for number two in socially engaged Buddhism. Once again, thank you, so much for your excellent presentation and discussion, sir. In addition, on this occasion, I would like to express the gratefulness and thankfulness to my fellow members of the club and our Anton of School of Buddhist Study in London. We are not here without your support, cooperation, encouragement, and efforts. I believe that with persistent quickly activity together, our love profession of Dharma will be realized and recognized in happy manner. Keep it together, we will be better at English in the near future. Common or Antons, I also would like to send my special thank you on moderator today, Dharma brother Yap Minh Châu. I am really impressed on your words and speeches. Congratulations on your good performance today, brother. Last but not the least, I am thankful to all participants for joining us in this international interactive meeting. Welcome you on to our international meeting next week. May you all experience to be and happiness in this life and the future. May you all be healthy in body, peaceful in mind, happy in life, and such in carries of spiritual path. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Dharma Sister Nhung Tan. And now we're going to come to the last session by singing our traditional song of our club, I Have Arrived, I'm Home. But before that, please come to the online certificate distribution session. Dharma brother Dam Khai, please share your screen. Dharma brother Dam Khai. Sharing your screen. Dear Venerable, our Dharma brother Dam Khai cannot connect to our Zoom. So that can you share? Okay. Can you share the online certificate distribution for me? Okay, as you can see on the screen, there's four certificate. And the first certificate is awarded to Dr. Manish Meshram, and our guest speaker today for his excellent and clear presentation on Bodhisattva, Dr.Ambedkar's 4 virtues in socially engaged Buddhism. Once again, we are extremely grateful to you, sir. And Venerable, please turn to the next certificate. Can you hear me, Venerable? And the second certificate is awarded to Dharma Sister Vang Diem because her active member in opening speech in series of weekly international meeting with our chief guest today. And the third certificate is awarded to Dharma Sister Nhung Trang for her working in voter thanks in a series of weekly international meeting. And the last certificate he awarded to me because of my performance as an MC in the meeting today. And now now we are going to the last session by singing our traditional song, The Club. I have arrived, I'm home.